What a journey 2023 has been. We've seen one of the greatest seasons in recent history, with the top 8 not being decided till the final round of the season.
There'll be an unexpected splash of orange as part of September.
You've seen the highs.
To protect. It's a long ball. It'll need further investigation. This is the greatest escape.
The lows.
It's a bloodbath at the SCG.
The outstanding.
He keeps it alive and spins it back and might have kicked a ripper.
And even the impossible.
And Carlton will hang on and win their 8th game in a row. Have a look at the Carlton fans at the MCG.
But now it all comes down to this. 8 teams left and only one can reign supreme and stand above all to claim that premiership. So we start in the Harbour City with the Sydney Swans, who are a formidable team at the worst of times, but now they come into the final series in red-hot form. Led by the old firm in Parker, Rampy and Papley, you know these Swans will never back down. But the young Swans are taking the show in recent times with Golden.
Wicks, Golden wants it back. Errol, tight against the boundary. Oh, Errol!
The Lizard.
Blakey again. Oh, the Lizard Wizard. Look at him go.
And of course, we can't forget about the Chad.
Speaking of Warner, hang on. He might not catch them at all. Hang on. He's just proved you wrong, Jono. Phenomenal.
However, everyone can remember how this story ended last year.
Chris and Joel and Geelong Footy Club, a heartfelt congratulations.
So the question remains, can the Swans shake the monkey off their back and take that one step closer to ultimate glory? Now onto the new boys on the blocks, where we have the Giants. And even though this team is young in age, that doesn't mean they aren't ready for the big stage. Last season, they were all at sea, down near the bottom of the ladder with no light in sight, and it all seemed doom and gloom. But with the King taking the throne, and with his new right-hand man...
Did he drop it then? Toby Green, he bends it. Did he get enough on it? He did.
The big sound from the west of Sydney town could become very deafening as we enter September. Now we head down to Moorabbin, where St Kilda lie. The club has a history of heartbreak and as being so close.
As wanted, Varco, handball's over. It's a snap, ball Chapman.
But only once have they been able to claim the ultimate prize. But a familiar face returns to the top job, and it seems to be a resurrection at the Saints, with young and old coming together to push this club back to where they belong. So, this time last year, the Blues were licking their wounds after missing the final series by one kick, not once.
Hands, Melksham, been terrific all night. Pickett, kicks, is it a point or a goal? It's a goal!
But twice.
Well, it kicked out the back, now Elliott can face the goal, he can give it to Gideon and go for the lot, he kicks the goal, Collingwood in front,
And you may have thought the car would have been singing the blues, but some people aren't built for mediocrity. These Blues are on the rise and come to the bookends of 2023 in the hottest of forms. Ken Cripper, the Doc.
Oh, he's not what he's got on it. Oh, he's kicked it.
And King Charles up the front.
He plays on, his eyes light up from 70 out, he's got 9!
Make the Blue Baggers become flaggers finally for their club. Next come the Mighty D's, and in days gone past, the Demons fans would have been planning a trip to the snow, but now the Melbourne faithful have more important matters on hand. These Demons are tough, strong, and their hearts bleed true for the red and the blue. They have match winners all over the ground, whether it be May patrolling the stingy defence, Clary and Petrarca being the bulls in the middle, and who could have forgotten a little bit of the magic from the player we call Cozzy Pickett.
maybe, yes! Superb!
So with every Melbourne player at their peak, you wouldn't dare doubt these Mighty D's. Now we head down to Port Adelaide, where the Alberton crowd could not be prouder of their men. Ken is locked in, and with the younger leaders becoming the talk of the comp,
Butters over his head towards goal!
there's definitely more than just a spark with this power team. However, we've seen this team fall so close before.
Off the ground, Richmond are going to on their way to the Gabba. The champions are still standing.
The Kennedy's men have something teams would only dream of. A young Butters at the peak of his powers, Horn Francis, who is already lighting up the Adelaide Oval.
From Horn Francis. This would be amazing. Jason Horn Francis, you star. What a finish. What a moment.
And of course, Port have some rosy sights ahead.
Bringing around the Adelaide Oval early. It's Connor Rosé. Mesmerised the ball. And kicked one of the goals of the year.
So Port Adelaide have been cup holders once before, but the question still remains, is there still some history in the making for this great club? The Roaring Lions are up next. From the pride of Brisbane town, and boy do the Lions den hold a formidable force. You have the leaders of the pack in Andrews down back, the lethal ball winners in Dunks and Neil, and revving around the forward line is none other than the Charlie Cameron Show.
Put the Jets on, has a bounce, sized them up, gave it away, the 1-2, cheeky Charlie, how good was that?
But these Lions have been declawed in seasons past.
So that's it. It's Geelong and Richmond are together in the grand final.
So the question still remains, can Fags and his merry men finally become kings of the jungle? And finally we get to the biggest and the best, which are Collingwood. The crowds, the club, and even the world have been attracted by this great club. There's a little magician in the making who's got family history running through his veins.
Gets at the handle at the back. Nick Dacos to give the Pies hope. He's done it.
It's a little too far. Dacos at the back. Can he produce something special here? Yes, he can.
And some think it's the Pies flag in waiting. But we've seen the Collywobbles get to the final hurdle and stumble.
Shade from the boundary. Needs to be inch perfect.
But with the smiling assassin in the driver's seat, the premiership may well be a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood. So the stage is set. 8 teams, 1 month in September, and only one team will prevail victorious. So the final question is, who will be the last team standing at the end of September?